we've got a bit of good news in the security space here for once. It doesn't happen often, so when it does, I like to highlight it. There was a very large, well-known botnet known as the 911 S5 proxy botnet, and was recently taken down by U.S. federal authorities and other international partners. And this one was a doozy. 19 million unique IP addresses associated with this botnet. 19 million. It was primarily distributed via a number of VPN applications, Mask VPN, Do VPN, Paladin VPN, Proxygate, Shield VPN, and Shine VPN. I've never heard of these, thankfully. But that's typically how they distributed this. And this case is really interesting for a couple of different reasons. One, because of its scale. There are some people that think this was the largest botnet takedown ever. And I would, I'm going to channel my inner Homer Simpson here for a second. The largest botnet takedown ever yet. Because I'm sure there will be more. Anyway. Right, exactly. And I think the other thing that's so important about this particular takedown is when you look at a lot of past botnets, don't get me wrong, botnets are terrible, right? I mean, most of them are very bad. This one was it's kind of especially bad because not only was it involved in the usual cybercrime stuff like fraud and whatnot, this was also known to be involved in things like bomb threats, child exploitation, harassment, and all other kinds of terrible, nasty things, right? So when you look at it from that perspective, like, this is fantastic news that this has been taken down, right? And I know I keep talking, Eric. Why don't you jump in?
I'm 100% on your side here. I'm really just a fan of when crime in general. Let's knock it off. But hey, you know what? This is beyond that. That's down to nefarious, evil. You know, I was fussy enough about the Change Healthcare thing because of all the lives they impacted. Now we're getting people who are into human trafficking. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They need to have more time in prison.
For sure.
You know,
for sure. And
I can at least believe that the people who attacked Change Healthcare didn't understand the ramifications.
Right.
I could be talked into that, but nobody participates in human trafficking without some.
No, exactly. And I think the other part that makes it even worse, I mean, it doesn't get much worse than that, but I think the thing that it kind of makes it even worse is in the article I linked in the written report, they were talking about how they arrested the primary operator of the botnet too, which is great news. They arrested the guy, I forget his name, but they arrested him in Singapore, I think is where he was. But this guy was like sitting on $100 million, was driving Ferraris around. And I mean, this guy was like living the life, right? And so, I mean, people involved in, and I don't think anybody would disagree with me. My opinion, people involved in that type of stuff don't deserve to be driving around in Ferraris and, living the high life, right?
No. And he deserves time in prison to sit here and go, was that really a good exchange?
Yep.
I've never driven a Ferrari, and I feel pretty good because nobody's going to be kicking in my door because I did something like that.
Right.
So I'm okay with not driving a Ferrari. And if I ever do, then I'll know I got there legitimately because this is not how I'm going to get there.
That's right.
And I don't have to look forward to, oh no, I built this all up and now it's in great risk because of what it just, yeah.
Right. Exactly.
I could preach on that for a while, I think.
Yeah, so could I. I mean, it's like, because I mean, at that point, it feels like he's built all this wealth on the suffering of others, including children, right? Which is horrible.